So, a couple days ago, I did something that I want to brag about because I'm really proud of myself for what I did. I've probably mentioned this before. I'm not sure. I'm a hoarder, like really bad. I come from a family of hoarders. My dad was a hoarder. My uncles are both hoarders. My grandma she was the worst hoarder. I'm pretty sure that my grandpa was, but I think that he was a little better than my grandma. But I just I it's in our blood, and I think both of my brothers are pretty good about it, and my mom is definitely, she's like, I don't like clutter, get all this stuff out of here. But it's in us. And I don't know what it is. I think it's just, if you know a hoarder, it's just that you can't let things go because you think that you'll need that thing later on, or if you get rid of it, you're getting rid of the memory of a person or something that happened to you that you really liked or you didn't like. Some things are bad to have, and we keep them anyway. I don't know what it is, but I'm really bad. And as far as collecting things, I've gotten a little better to where if I see something, I'm like, all right, I don't need it. I'm not gonna get it. Like there's a giant ET statue that I see at this like vintage toy shop at the mall, and it's like $300. And first of all, I'm not gonna buy it, but there's that spark in me that's like, but should you? So anyway, I'm really proud of myself because a couple days ago I saw a stop sign by the dumpster at at my apartment, and I drove by and I stopped and I was like, you should get that. You should take that stop sign. But then I paused a moment and I was like, why? Why do you need that? You don't need that. Why? Where are you gonna put it? Why do you want it? Why do you want it? But I kind of had this back and forth with myself where I was like, well, you might need it. You could use it for something. There's something that you might use it for eventually. And it's kind of like how we all have like a cable drawer in our kitchen that just has like wadded up cables from like 2008 and on. And you know that you're never going to use that charger for the phone that you don't have anymore. But the day that you throw it away, the next day you're gonna need it for some reason. So that's my thinking. And when I saw the stop sign, I had that thing where I was like, well, man, if you don't take it, like in 2 weeks, you're gonna have an idea to use the stop sign. And I drove by it and I was like, all right, well, I ran an errand and I was like, if it's gone, then that's your sign that you're not going to take it. But if it's there, maybe consider taking it. So when I got back home and I saw that it was still there, I took it as a sign, a literal sign. I mean, this was a clear metaphor, a stop sign, a sign to stop. And the reason that I'm proud of myself is because I went ahead and I picked it up. And here's why. It's because every time that I look at this stop sign now, it'll be a reminder to stop hoarding. So that's how I interpreted this. This is the sign to stop hoarding. And I'm really proud of myself for that. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. We love you so. Your human buddy Sam and his teddy friend. This is hello. The song's almost over. It's about to end. Let's start the show. Cahn Solo Podcast. I know, I'm sick. It's a sickness. It is sick, and I'm glad that I don't have an unhealthy hoarding problem. I mean, I do, but it's not like actually unhealthy like when people save their urine or their like fast food wrappers. Like there's a lot of things that I could be hoarding that would be really bad. And the ones that I keep are they're sentimental, and they're also, I'm trying to make an excuse for taking this stop sign, and I don't have one right now. But I need I need to stop this. And the reason that I have this problem, it's like I said, it's my grandma that I blame my grandma. Oops, I cussed. We're back to cussing. By the way, we're back. We're not gonna stop doing this fucking podcast. We're just gonna keep doing it. I think we're gonna do it for a year, and then that'll be the test. If I'm not digging it, we're gonna stop. And so, hey, how's it going? We're back. We never really left because it was it was last week, but I decided on Wednesday. Today's Friday. I decided Wednesday. I was like, do you want to keep doing this? Like, really, do you want to keep doing this? Do you want to stop? And I was like, we'll do the year thing that my buddy John suggested. So we're gonna do the year. Anyway, back to my grandma. She she had I don't know what it was. I don't know if she got it from her parents or where this Cahn thing started, but she had a really bad hoarding problem. And when she passed away in 2015. We went to clean out her condo, and she had, oh my god, she had a Simon Says from like the 80s that was still in the box, like the original box. And she had clothes with price tags on them still, and just brand new shoes. She just bought a bunch of stuff, and she never wore it or used it, or I think a lot of them were like gifts that she planned on giving my brothers and I that she never got around to. Just little knickknacks, just bullshit. And it was really sad because my uncles and myself, while we were cleaning out her garage, we were unable to throw these things away. We were like keeping them as well. And I'll say it. I had a pair of her shoes that I thought was funny because we had the same size foot. Like I was like, I put her little slippers on, her little Keds white slip-on shoes, and I was like, they fit me. And my mom, I still remember, she's just like, oh my fucking god, Sam, do not do this. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take this. This is kind of funny. And I kept her shoes. I kept a pair of her shoes at my apartment for like 3-4 years. And I got rid of them because I was like, well, they're like really nice. Someone could actually use them. I didn't wear them. I put them on. I think I took a picture for the Instagram, not my grandma. And I don't know why I do that. I don't know why. I have a stop sign, and there's things that the Cahns, I don't know. I wish I knew. Like, oh my god, my dad. I remember I was like 10 years old, and I was at soccer practice, and my dad was friends with one of my teammates' dad. And I still remember this, exactly how it happened. The guy had his kid and they were leaving, and he backed into a pole and he banged it up really bad. Like the pole like bent like under his car, and he screwed up his bumper, and my dad lost it. He thought it was so funny. And the guy was like, he was angry, but it was like the funny angry because he realized how stupid this was. And anyway, the pole ended up like coming out of the cement, And the guy took off, and before we left, my dad had me help him put the pole in the back of our Volvo because he wanted to give it to him for his birthday in like 3 months. He thought it would be funny. He's like, "Oh, this is great. Sam, help me put it in the back seat. I'm gonna put a bow on it, and we're gonna give it to him for his birthday. His birthday's coming up in September." And I was like, "Okay." Like, I just went along with it. I kind of thought it was funny. Never did it. That pole sat in the back of our Volvo until we donated it. Like 5 years later. I don't know if he forgot about it or what happened, but this pole just sat. And then I had to explain it to like my friends why there was a pole in the back of the Volvo. And you never sound sane talking about this kind of thing. I can't, like, the stop sign. Why'd I do that? Like, I don't have company over, but if I did and I had it hanging on the wall. But this is kind of a cool thing. Like, this isn't a pole where it'd be like, why do you have a pole? Like, this is like what do they call it? Like a man cave situation. I'm making excuses again. I should get rid of this. I should take this and go put it back in the dumpster. It's dirty. I don't know where this was. And it's not even an actual, like, it's not like the actual stop sign. It's not like the metal or whatever it is. It's like this really thick foam. But, I mean, it looks real. And that's all I care about. So, yeah. I feel like I don't know. I was proud of myself, but this turned into like a more of a venting situation. Oh, I wanted to do something. I wanted to make a little correction. I had an error 2 weeks ago that, by the way, if you watched the episode, it was the one where we talked about Oppenheimer, the movies. If you watched that episode, you were complicit in my error, and nobody corrected me. Cillian Murphy. I said Cillian with confidence. But I'm sure that Cillian Murphy absolutely nails the role. His name is Cillian. And I called him Cillian throughout the episode. And then at the end, I even made a joke with Stu. It was a closing bit where Stu said, I said his name wrong. I said his name wrong? It's not Cillian Murphy, it's Cillian. No, it's not, I swear. It is not Cillian Murphy, it's Cillian. Agree to disagree. And I did. But I didn't know that. I thought it was haha funny. I thought that was a joke. The reason that I found this out is that night, or the morning after, I saw an Oppenheimer like press thing where they interviewed him, and the person said, "So we have Oppenheimer's Cillian Murphy." And when I watched it, I was like, "Ha, you idiot! You said his name wrong. It's Cillian. It's Cillian. He's Irish, and the CI, I guess they don't have a. I'm a little confused about this because I made a video. I made a video about this that actually it blew up. It got like 1 million views, and it ended up getting on like Irish people TikTok. They started seeing it, and they were like, I was getting bashed in the comments, like, "Hey, stupid American, how could you not know this? You've never heard his name?" And like, I haven't. He's a really shy person, and I've never heard him do like interviews, or if I did, I already, like, they already said his name or something. Like, if I saw him on like a red carpet event, it was like, "Oh, Cillian Murphy," and then I didn't see that part. If I knew his name was Cillian, I wouldn't have called him Cillian for the past 16 years. No, like 20 years. I first saw him in 28 days. Or is it 28 days later? One of them has Sandra Bullock. The other one is the zombie movie. I can't remember, but it was the zombie movie. And I think that was 2002. And from there, he was Cillian Murphy. And the reason that I called him Cillian is because CI makes a S sound. We all know that. Circle. Surveillance. Oh, wait, no, that's not right. That's as circle, circus, circumference. And why would I see his name and assume K? There's no reason that I would see that. And there was a couple of, like I said, there was a couple of people from Ireland who, stupid American, how could you not know this? And I asked them, I'm like, how do you say circus? How do you say circle? Like, tell me. Like, it's interesting that there's like this exception when you see a name, but how would I have known that? So that was kind of funny, and I feel like I make errors sometimes, and when I edit and I see them, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could say something. So I think from this day forward, if I'm editing and I notice an error, I'm gonna correct it in the next episode. Kind of like how newspapers do that, at the top where they're like, we made a mistake last week. 3 people died, not 2. So I'm gonna start doing that. Oh, there was another one. I said, and these are things that only I notice. I don't think anyone else noticed, but I said I heard about Keanu Reeves' band in 1994, which is when they started. But I didn't know of that. I was 8. I heard of them around 1999. So I was like 13. And that's when I heard about them. But I said in the episode, I was like, yeah, I remember them from 1994. And like, no, you meant 1999. So when I'm editing and I see that, I'm like, do I like go in and cover my mouth and like edit it to like switch it? Like, oh yeah, I remember him from 1999. Anyway, Cillian Murphy. That threw me off, and I felt like, I don't know, I felt weird, like I was just saying his name wrong this whole time. It's not like I'm talking about him all the time, like he doesn't come up in conversation all the time, but the fact that what blows my mind is the amount of people that I've said his name to and nobody corrected me and nobody knew. Like everyone else just went along with it. And I don't know if it was they assumed I was correct and maybe they were incorrect, because maybe they were like, yeah, I've been calling him Cillian, but I guess it's Cillian. Or if they just didn't notice, or they didn't know, or maybe it was like a giant prank. Haha, Sam keeps calling him Cillian when it's Killian. Let's see how long he does this for. And it was 21 years, so you got me, guys, if that's what was happening. But I'm assuming that no one else like knew, and it's really fascinating. And when I posted the video, there were a lot of comments that were like, I had no idea either. This is how I'm finding out. Wow. So, Stu, I apologize for telling you that you're wrong. You were right. I said that. I actually said, oh, you go ahead. No, his name is Cillian. It's not Killian. Silly me. What a week. I have Pee Wee Herman here that I want to talk about. We lost Pee Wee Herman, dude. Paul Rubens. Really sad. Sinead O'Connor as well. And then the guy from the Euphoria. I can't remember. Angus. His name is Angus. Is it Angus? Yeah. Let me see. I don't want to get his name wrong. I thought when he passed away, I thought he was, like, people were posting Angus Cloud. That's his name. I thought people were posting, like, a year couple year anniversary for Mac Miller because I thought he was Mac Miller because I've never seen this guy before, and he looks exactly like Mac Miller. And when I saw the pictures, I thought like, oh, it's like the whatever 5 year anniversary of his passing, and then I saw a lot of posts like 2023, and I don't know. It's like it's crazy because when famous people die, oh, they die in threes, but like this one, like the legit was like they died in threes. Like these are really popular people, and it's really sad because two of them, Angus and Sinead, were they took their own lives, and Paul had cancer, and I don't like. It's weird because a lot of people have been defending what he did, and myself included. And it's really interesting because what he did, he was playing with himself in an adult theater. And I think that is the greatest place to, other than at your home, the greatest place to do that. If you're gonna be doing that in public, which you should not, I feel like an adult theater. I gotta carefully choose my words because I'm not condoning this behavior. I'm just saying that's the place to do it. So good for him not doing that anywhere else, and he did. He did it. He did it. There were like three other people in the theater. I'm pretty sure he was like in the back. The other people were I don't think they were sitting next to each other. And even if they were, it was mutual, right? Like I don't think anyone saw Pee Wee in the back, Paul in the back, and was like, "Hey man, um I'm trying to watch this movie. That is disgusting." I think that, and it was. I am so glad the camera shut off because I don't know how long I was gonna go on with that little bit, but anyway, he's had his legal problems, and I'm glad that he bounced back, and I know that he was arrested in. I pulled up his Wikipedia here because I couldn't remember when that was. He was arrested about 10 years later, and there was I don't know if I could say the word CP. I think people say CP. He was like tipped off that he had a collection of that, and he turned himself in, and he was like, hey, this is not what you think it is, and it says that he basically, they reviewed the stuff that he had, and they were like, okay, yeah, we get it. He collected like vintage magazines from like the 30s through like the 90s, and it was like German stuff. It was like just really kind of like artsy vintage erotica. And he bought it like in bulk. And it wasn't him. I don't think it was him like specifically going to get it. I think it was like he knew that it was being sold, and he was like probably had whoever go and buy it. And I don't think that he was like going through every single page and could know exactly what was in there, because it says there was 70,000 items. If you're going through like 100 magazines a day, that's gonna be, I don't even know how many years, but it would take you like years to do that. And so I don't think that he was like purposely doing this. I think there was like innocent like nude art, and the it looks like that the people there, in some of them, appeared to have been maybe underage. And like I said, it looks like it was kind of like, hey man, weird collection you got here, but we don't think that you're this type of person. And like I said, he bounced back, and he was on talk shows throughout the 2000s and everything. And his death, the response to his death, I haven't seen anybody like, hey, he's a little pervert, he's a p word. It was, we know that he had a little shitty patch there. And he played this character for, I think that he was playing the character up until fairly recently. I don't know. He probably made like appearances and stuff, but from like I think he started like early 80s through like the 90s. And these are people. They get stressed out. And I think that he just maybe had some demons and went into the theater, and he released those demons, baby. He released a lot of those demons. And yeah, just a bummer that he passed away. And it's weird, like I'm looking at him, and like there's certain, like Michael Jackson, I'm still like, I see pictures of him and I'm like, I can't believe it. And like Heath Ledger, I can't believe, like my mind doesn't, Robin Williams, my mind doesn't get it. And I think it's because they are like pieces of like my childhood that, or they're like, they're so big that I can't get that. And I'll forget, because they were so like, I don't know, am I explaining this right? They're so like a part of, I don't want to say they're a part of my life, because that's weird. Like, yeah, Bill Paxton, he was part of my life. But I thought of Bill Paxton, and I think of like memories where I watched Twister as a kid, and Terminator and all these movies, Tombstone, and I forget. And it's just weird, because like Trevor Moore from Whitest Kids You Know, I think he died on like Sunday. This Sunday will be like the second or third year that he died. And like I'll see a clip of him and I'll be laughing, and I'm like, oh shit, he's not here anymore. He's just gone. He died. He's gone. And there's so many like people like that were just such a big part of a chunk of my life that I watched, and I formed memories, like watching somebody with my brothers or my dad or my mom, and then when they die, it's just, it's weird. I don't know. Death is fucking crazy, man. You're just here and then you're not. Bye. You're not here now. Bye. Paul Rubens, he's never going to be here again. And when I see, especially now because he died, there's a lot of clips of him as Pee Wee Herman, and when I watch it, I'm like, oh man, he was so great. Oh yeah, he's dead. Like he's gone. This little weird guy is gone. Ha! And it's not like you expect all these people to live forever. Like Al Pacino is old. He's gonna die. He might die within like the next couple of years, and when he does, there's another one. It's just this timeline of our life that we know these popular people because they're in like the spotlight, but they're pieces that we got to see, and we feel like we know them a little bit, and then when they die, it's so crazy. Like there's hundreds of thousands of people that died today that I don't know them. I'll never know them. They just died, like in the span of recording this. I'm pretty sure like thousands of people just died, car accidents, overdoses. Like just people are constantly dying, but then they're being born. It's a circle of life, baby. But when when the ones that we all seem to know Paul Rubens and Angus Cloud, that a lot of younger people who watch Euphoria are familiar with. He's gone. He's like a Heath Ledger, and it's crazy because he also he was very young. He was like 25, and it's just too bad. Yeah, death sucks, huh? But it's kind of necessary because it makes life important. Because if we didn't die, what would we be doing? We'd just be forever. God, I hope that's not what heaven is. Just awful time just had to have that happening forever. Man. Anyway, that's going to be the episode. Hoarding, death, stop sign, Cillian Murphy, not Cillian Murphy. That's gonna take me a while to undo. Every time that I see his name, I'm gonna have to remember to say it right, because when I see his name still, it's just like, oh, in my head I say Cillian still, but I have to make sure that I say it correctly so I look educated and cultured. If you're Irish and I insulted you, I apologize, but your fucking language, it don't make sense. How do you say circus? Exactly. That'll do it for us. This is episode 36, and I've been saying this since day one, I'm pretty sure. We're gonna try to keep them short, but really, Scout's honor, we're gonna really try to keep these 30 minutes, because every time that I see the little thumbnail and I see 47 minutes, 53 minutes, I'm like, that's too long. Make them shorter. So we're going to do them shorter. Yeah, thank you very much to everybody listening and watching. Thank you to the patrons. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going, baby. And we'll see how long we go. And I appreciate all the support, all the love, and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to grab the stop sign, but I wanted to. I wanted to hold it up. See, that's why if I didn't have that stop sign, I wouldn't have been able to make that joke. But anyway, we will see you next week. Mr. Stu, did you have anything you want to add? Throw you out? Are you kidding me? I would never, ever throw you out. I told you that was an accident. I accidentally, you were too close and you had a tumble. I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to put your hand down after I don't want to hear it, okay? Okay, I love you too. If you see something at a dumpster and you don't need it, leave it there. Don't take it home. Why would you? It'll help with the hoarding. So if you're a hoarder, that's my advice. Don't. Stop. And cart return. We'll see you next week.